Sure.
Hello, entrepreneurs. This is Joe DeChara coming to you live once again from downtown Flushing. And today I have a surprise. This was not planned. Actually, I did plan it. I invited this gracious, brave woman, Daisy, to be interviewed live. And this is at the start of a series of interviews I'm going to start doing in the group, basically to give group members a chance to shine and get their name and face out there and maybe connect with a few people. So I have never spoken to Daisy. This is our first conversation. We spoke a little before the broadcast just to make sure that she was a real person, and she is. So
I am.
let me introduce you to my new friend Daisy V, and it's Daisy Vasquez, right? Daisy Vasquez, right?
Yes, it's Daisy Vasquez Vogt.
Vote.
So that's
Okay.
why I just put the V because there's so many V's in
It could be a tongue twister. So, we spoke
there.
for a few
Yes.
minutes, and one of the things that I try to do is find people that have an entrepreneurial story. Okay, because that's what
Hmm.
this group is really all about. Business. I think that I met you. We connected through Haley Gray's 5 day challenge. Is that right?
Hmm.
Okay. So just to
Yeah, we're exactly.
just to let you know, this is my group. It's Bedrock Business Builders. We're going live in the group on my Facebook, in a couple of places. My business page, and that's why I use StreamYard. If you ever want to do these, I would recommend getting StreamYard. It's a lot. It's user friendly. It's a lot nicer than Zoom as far as just the ease of use and getting on Facebook. But that's enough about me. I want to learn about you, Daisy. And you started to tell me, and this is why I wanted to bring you on right away because I cut you off. I didn't want you to give me the whole story because I have a lot of respect for people that do what you've done. And so if you want to bring people up to speed here, you brought me back to you. You had a career, right? You were in sales, I think.
Mhm.
And what happened with that?
Yes. So basically, this is about 5, 6 years ago. We were living in Mexico at the time. My family is very international, so we've always moved around a lot. And at the time I was working in sales, I was actually a office manager for a small team, but being a small team meant I had a lot of jobs on my hand. And I was actually looking at the time for a way at home more because my stepson, I have two kids. Both my kids are my stepkids, but my stepson has a degenerative disease that wasn't really doing very well. And so we knew at one point I would have to be at home, I would have to help him more. And I've always been a believer of, you know, doing good things for yourself and then good things will happen. And so I really wanted to help fix him a little bit more in the natural way because we were also in the technology and the infrastructure were really what we the best at that time, right? And so I started looking for ways to help him, help his health, help his mindset, help his body get stronger. And that kind of discovered this passion for helping people ways through biohacking the body and also wanting to help other moms or families that were in the kind of situation that we were, because it's very difficult to have a special needs child and keep all your ducks in a row. So that's kind of where that started. And it's just been a process to the States. My son is so healthier. I've just graduated as an integrative nutrition health coach. And so I am setting up that practice. I'm starting to get my first clients, and I'm just so excited to be able to see these families changing and getting better, just like my family experienced.
And you turned it into a business. And that's what I love, because so you went from having
of
a
course,
career.
why not?
Well, you don't put it lightly, because it's a huge step, and most people don't. They just don't get there. It's so, and a lot of us. I knew I was going in business when I was 10 years old. Okay, I ran a casino in my driveway. I made money, and I didn't understand why people got jobs. Okay, I did it with the serious. That's the truth. Then we have what I call the accidental entrepreneurs, people that are in business, they don't even know that they are. People like Uber drivers and people that have Amazon affiliate accounts. Those are businesses.
Yep.
And they don't treat them like businesses, so that they run into problems. But now you come from a whole different angle, where you had a career, you decided to make a sacrifice for your family. And then, I mean, did you decide to spend time at home and then you were like, I'm going to start a business? Or you just, I'm going to stay home and figure it out?
I kind of fell into it.
Okay, explain that.
What happened?
How do you fall into a business?
Yeah. Well, by the grace of God, actually. What happened was I was asked to leave my job, and it was a very difficult time for me because of what I'd been talking about previously already, knowing that at one point I would have to come home. But it was all at that point, because I was working so hard in my job, and I was doing the job 5 different people, 6 different people, as happens so often in small businesses and small offices.
Yeah.
And I realized I wasn't getting appreciated for it. And I just, I've always known, and my husband has always told me, you're such a persona. You're made for business. People relate to you. But I never considered being an entrepreneur. I never considered running my own business. It just wasn't something that was in my blood. My family is a family of hard workers, not of entrepreneurs. And so when I was let go, I went home crying my eyes out, because for me, that was the end of the world. But I said, okay, you know what? This might be a good thing. And I sat on the ground and I actually prayed. And it was the first time that I really got touched, and that it said, okay, you know what? You're going to get something that will help you. And somehow I felt it, and I don't know what it was. That's why I say the grace of God. And I get emotional when I talk about it, because that is what happened. And so a friend of mine called me up with an opportunity in an MLM. And it wasn't really the MLM that I was looking at, but it was looking at the product was to me to help my son. That was all that was approached from at that moment. And that was all that I was looking for at that moment. And when I saw, it was amazing. And when I saw the change in my son, when I saw this business opportunity and the possibility of, really starting to become an entrepreneur and learning something new, that was still my background, because I'm in sales, but not really. It was an interesting change, and that's how I fell into it. And then I decided, I want to take this to a whole different level. I just don't want to work with an MLM. I want to build my company. I want to reach more people, not providing a product, but also providing a service, because more people need it.
And need what? Need
more
what?
moms of kids that have issues, like moms of kids that have issues, and families need help, need support. They need a guideline.
And that's what you provide.
Correct. That's where I can help, A mom that's completely stressed out, that has kids at home, one that's special needs, that's trying to work because somehow she has to support her family. She's trying to put food on the table, but doesn't have the brain to cook, doesn't have time for herself. That was me. And
Yeah,
so, not three
that
kids,
leads.
but two, right? So
So let me ask you. So it's kind of amazing to me because I've been working with business. I've worked with thousands of business owners, and usually it takes a long time to develop a business. And you went from being an employee, having no intention of starting a business, uh, and now what you're explaining to me is you got your avatar like pinned down. That's not an easy thing to do.
now,
Yeah. A lot of people, a lot of business
yeah,
owners
but I
never
mean,
even get to that point where they can say, this is who my ideal client is. So you've come, I'm impressed. So
yeah,
you went from, not even wanting
thank you.
to, and now you're a superstar entrepreneur. So congratulations on that.
I'm doing my best. I'm doing my best. Thank you. But your point is very, so many people don't know who they want to serve. And that was one of the things that, at least through my studies now, I've learned. And it wasn't, I mean, this has taken me 5 years. This was a process, the whole building up my brand and everything and figuring it out. But now I'm like, let's do this, right? Because I know who I want to help. And that, you're absolutely right. A business owner needs to know their target market, because then they can grow and then they can develop and then the business will grow with them.
Yes, absolutely. And I started doing coaching, and this is one of the fundamentals. You need a product and you need a client. And people, they got the product, but then
Exactly.
they don't put enough thought into their client's needs. And that's what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
But a couple of things. So I believe in prayer. So there's no coincidences that you wound up where you are. How is your stepson doing now?
Amazing.
He is. And now you're able to, so you started
He's,
working with families already? You have some clients?
I'm starting to now. Yeah, I'm getting my first couple of clients now in. Not enough to have testimonials yet, but we just started, so I'm getting there.
Awesome. Awesome. So now tell me about this, the
Yeah, but
degree, the
Harvey is
degree.
my biggest testimonial.
People ask me what's your greatest success story, and I say me. I am, because I started following what I taught people. So that is a testimonial. You
True.
are your own testimonial.
Mm-hmm.
So tell me a little bit about this degree, the certification that you got.
Well, the what I was looking for, I was looking for something that combined nutrition, but also the aspect of everything else that has to do with life. Because through the lessons and through the changes that I made with my son, I realized that, yeah, it's really important what you put inside, also really important what you surround yourself. And so the IN is the school that I went to, the Institute of Integrative Nutrition. It's an online course. It took 1 year, basically. And it teaches all the way from all the different nutritional aspects, dietary theories, different diets that people take or have to do, different health issues and how that nutrition can affect, all the way to, how what we marry food, so how our relationships, how our home environment, how our career, spirituality and religion, how the food that we eat, how all these things also influence our life. So we learned to balance that, and it was a very interesting course. like I said, it took me a year, but it was all online, and I was able to do it like on the side while I was taking care of my sons. The past, well, the past 6 I've had help, but the past year and a half, I was the full-time 100% caretaker with all the doctor's appointments and therapy and everything. So it wasn't like I had time, to go to school.
Right. So now, did they give you any training on how to put together a coaching program, or was that all you're doing?
Yes.
So
Nope. They give us everything. They even have us do practice coaching sessions with
really?
as many people as we can. We get workbooks, get hangouts. Yeah, it's a really great program.
If you want, you could post. I don't know if you see the post in StreamYard there, but if you want to post a link to the school and give them some love, if you want, or
Of
you can
course.
just send it to me, because that, when you help somebody go into business, this was always my belief. If you could show somebody, teach somebody how to make money, there's a ripple effect. My VA, Elizabeth, calls it the ripple. You're spreading positive energy out there.
Mm-hmm.
So, I love stuff like that. And
Yep.
they've obviously done
Yes.
right by you. So you described your
For sure. For me and many others.
Yeah. So you went into who your ideal customer is, right? And when you were explaining it, I'm just thinking burnout. I have a friend, Dave Nasani. He's called the caregiver's caregiver. And his wife had a stroke, and he's been taking care of her for like 30 years. And then he realized, caregivers a lot of times die before the person that they're caring for. And is that something that you deal with, like the burnout? I see there's actually like burnout coaches. Is this something?
For sure.
Okay. So I'm not an overstressed mother, obviously, so I can't even relate to what that's like. But give me, like, how would you start with somebody? Like, if somebody wanted to work with you, what does it look like? How do you get them from, being burnt out, overwhelmed, and get them some relief and help? How does that work?
Well, the trick in coaching, and I'm sure you know this as well, is that mostly, and especially when it's something so personal like burnout and like the unique situations that I work, because like I could say, look, I'm a special needs mom, but my life is completely different than the special needs mom that lives across the hall from me, because every child is so specific. So like I can say my kid is really easygoing. But anybody else, if they were to know that, I have to have breakfast at 8 o'clock and it has to be freshly cooked. I make lunch at 11 because he eats at 12 o'clock. Then we play Uno for an hour. Then he lies down. Then he gets that's already stress for people. Too much planning, but that's our life.
Really?
And so and works for us, but it won't work for everybody else. And so with special needs, the first part in situations like this with coaching is really getting an idea of what that mother needs. Because she might be okay with everything in the house, but she might not be okay that she doesn't have time for herself. And when she does, she doesn't know what to do with herself, because the only thing she's thinking about is her child, for her child, and what needs to be done in the house, and not thinking about, going outside for 10 minutes and breathing fresh air and just sitting quietly for a minute.
Right. Sounds
right?
pretty simple.
So
Sounds
what
simple.
we do, it is, but we forget because we get so caught up in all our day to day and all this attending to the people we're caring for that we forget to care for us.
Yeah, that's what Dave says. We
And when
forget about
somebody's
us.
ready, yep, completely. 100%, because they need us more. And so when you get to that point, like I reached it, like the people that I work with are at, they're like, okay, I know I have this responsibility, and we do what we do with all our heart. We care for those people with our heart and our soul. We would if we didn't want to, right? But
Right.
we know that we can't do that unless we're okay too. So once you're at that place where you say, okay, I know I need to make some change, that's where I come in and I say, okay, so where do you need help? What do you want to
Okay.
change? Like, what's the first thing you realize you need to change? Whether that's health, whether that's time, whether that's self-care, whether that's organization, the home. It can be so many things. That's the difference of working with a special needs situation.
Okay, so where does the nutrition, and you mentioned the word biohacking. What is that?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Biohacking was my start with all of this. Biohacking has to do with what our body can, what our DNA can be hacked, how it can be hacked, like with the computers, you're hacking.
Yes, yes.
Is that, yeah. So basically what biohackers do is they figure out what nutrition needs to go into our body so that we can biologically hack our DNA and help our body function and work better and do the things that it's supposed to do. But we eat sugar and we don't drink water and we don't sleep right, and we get older and we breathe, we're already messing up our bodies basically.
It's tough, but you're right. You're talking about bad habits, and
It
I
is.
I was guilty of that. I have a girl that's been taking care of me for 10 years, and she says, if you can't take care of yourself, how can you take care of anyone else? So, you're absolutely right about what you said about
Exactly.
that. But this is pretty interesting because when I first started talking to you, I thought this was all going to be all about nutrition, uh, which to me is, what we eat.
No.
So it's really, I get this.
Mhm.
It's pretty fascinating, and I believe all of it. Even, I have a friend that does feng shui, and I was going to have her in the group because the colors in my office, in my home, I know that it affects you, your environment. So I'm like, I'm going to get her on here, and then she's going to, for free, I'm going to get her to tell me what, how I should be organizing my office. But it is the
Go
environment.
online. It's called a Bagua map. It
It's
is
called what? I'm sorry.
a Bagua map. It's it's difficult to say. Bagua. That's the feng shui map of the home and what colors and
Ah,
how it needs to be laid
Bagua.
out. Something I with.
Cool. All right, so I learned something again. That's what's great about doing these interviews. Right? You always get to learn something. If you want to,
Yep.
and you are starting your own Facebook group, right? Actually, you have one, and I think I posted it in the chat.
Yes.
So tell me about the Facebook group
Awesome. Thank you.
and the challenge that you're going through with Haley Gray right now.
Well, Haley's challenge to help build our Facebook groups, and I've been trying to build my group actually since the beginning of this year. I started it December 31st, 2019, because I've always been building my brand on my own face page. Because of all our moving, because of our location, because of the business that I was in, I connect with a lot of people. And I wanted to have something that's a little bit more separate and a little bit more health focused. So in the group, it's my brand, so Activated Life by Daisy V. I basically post all about, healthy habit changes. We do different challenges. I inform about nutrition. I talk about the importance of basically everything that has to do with life and how to get yourself centered and yourself okay. It's not only for special needs. It's not only for moms. I mean, men can benefit from it too. So you're welcome to join if you're a little bit stressed out and need some positive motivation.
Who isn't? So, okay.
Awesome. Exactly. Right.
And so when Haley showed me how to start my group, and it's really been great for my business in a lot of different ways, not just to connect with clients, but I hired my VA from the group. You make connections. Sometimes you actually learn stuff. And having a group is great.
A lot.
So, yeah. So you got, I think, 2 more days with Haley. I've been working with her a lot. Actually, I met Haley because I interviewed her because I wanted to learn how to start a Facebook group. So that's nice. Pretty awesome. So how do people connect with you? I know they can go to the group. Is there another way that they can connect with you if they're not on Facebook or?
Yes, I have a website, also activatedlifebydaisyv.com.
Okay.
Really simple. And right there, you can connect with me for my newsletter, or you can sign up for, a health history, which is the free consultation that we do, or you connect with me for any other information as well. I have a contact page right there.
Okay, so you're going to give a free consultation too.
Yes.
Right. Okay, awesome. Is there anything you would like to say to people about, something that they can do to start thinking and getting healthier?
One free tip. All right, I'll do the one free tip that everybody needs and that everybody knows, right? I'll give you in a second. But first of all, I need to thank you for allowing me this platform. Before I forget, because I will forget, just to speak and to connect with your audience. I really appreciate it. And if there's anybody out there or anybody that you know that could benefit from what I do, please share, because there's much less help out there than people really realize, and they need much more than they get. So please just help share my mission and help as many as we can. And the free tip is to drink more water.
You're right. How much water should you be drinking?
That is how much water should you be drinking? There's a ratio dependent on your body weight and height and a whole bunch of stuff. But it's basically about 4 liters for a man and 3 liters for a woman. I don't know it in gallons.
Okay. I don't think I can.
Sorry, but it's basically, for me, I drink 9 glasses of water.
Okay. I don't come close to that.
Whoa.
So I'm going to go drink some water. I'm going to go drink some water.
We don't. And that is the main thing. That's the main thing that people forget. Have it next to you. Yeah. Plain water. It's so important. And people drink soda, or they drink coffee or stuff, and they say, yeah, I got my liquid for the day.
Yeah, that doesn't count, I guess. All right, Daisy, I appreciate your time.
Nope. Your body.
Okay. Listen, if you're not a member of my group, you should join Bedrock Business Builders, and you'll have, more opportunities to spread your message. Just be active in the group, and I'm gonna join your group because I'm sure there's stuff in there that I could use. All right. So that's it.
Hopefully.
Connect with Daisy V, entrepreneur, mom, rock star. And my name is Joe DiChiara. That's my story. I'm sticking with it. Over and out. Thank you.